And the total destruction of our originality, and that total destruction of our originality was possible because we were separated from our homeland in Africa in knowledge, its concept, its traditions of its people, the language of its people. All of these we were taken away from. We were completely made bare, naked of all that we had ever gained or experienced as a community, or of pride or of social unity on the continent of the motherland, Africa. We know that some slave masters were civilized people, intelligent, civilized people. They only owned slaves, and they did not deny their slaves the development of the mind or the intellect. There were some rare situations where some victims had an opportunity to develop their intellect. So for a few, the circumstances were different. But even for those few, the opportunity for originality, that's the key word that we're getting to. Originality, the opportunity for originality didn't develop because they were separated from their own lifeline. Because their lifeline was destroyed, their own history, the environment of their own language, their people, their own culture, their own life was lost in it. So Imam qualified saying, yes, terrible, terrible situation, unique in the world. This story is describing it in its uniqueness. But yes, there were exceptions. But he's also said, don't make the mistake of thinking because there were exceptions, there was still a critical ingredient that they didn't get. And they weren't restored to that which would return them to their originality, which was the main thing that was taken away from them. So you can put all that other stuff on top of the absence of originality, and you still don't have your true self. Brothers and sisters, life is a series of repetitive events linked by a chain of recurrent relations. Life is a series of repetitive events linked by a chain of recurrent relations, meaning stuff that happened to you 100 years ago, you should understand, it's happening today. Stuff that happened thousands of years ago, it's happening today. The name can change, but what? The game is still the same. See, what we need to know, what's on the board, and where's my script? Who am I in this human drama that's going on? Who am I? Am I in the right place or in the wrong place? Am I friend, enemy? Am I victim? Am I victor? Where you need to know. You need to know what the play is, and you need to know where you play in it. So I'm going to draw you a picture, because everything is a sign. Don't jump too fast. Don't jump too fast. Just go slow with it. I want to talk to you about a sidewinder. Sidewinder. It's a snake. I'm being, listen to me like a biologist right now. Okay? Listen to me like you're watching the History Channel. Not like you're watching Comedy Central. There's a History Channel. The sidewinder is a snake. That's where its name. It's its name because it goes forward by moving sideways. So its movement is deceptive. You think it's moving sideways, but it's actually moving forward. Snakes are already, by definition, symbolic is deceptive, but now sidewinder, you got a special thing. Even more special is this. Sidewinders love geckos. Geckos are little lizards. How do they get their favorite food? They have evolved, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has constructed them that way to give us this message, because it's an ayah, it's a sign to be read. The tail of the sidewinder it looks just like a blade of grass. And now I can mention to you that the sidewinder is a desert snake. I didn't want to say that first because I don't want you to be jumping too fast. It's a desert snake. So what the sidewinder does when he's ready to eat, he shimmies down under the sand. And he sticks that tail up. And when it's coming out of the sand, it looks just like a blade of grass. That's his fishing pole. Now, geckos are not interested in grass, but desert ants are. So when the sidewinder puts that blade of grass tail up there, who comes after the blade of grass? The desert ant. But geckos love desert ants. Geckos will take a desert ant over a blade of grass any day. So what happens is, once the ant goes for the grass, then the gecko goes for the ant. And when that sidewinder feels the vibration of the gecko on his back, it comes up like Rambo. He got the gecko and the ant, and he moves on with his tail. Translation. The ant, well, let's go with desert first, since that's where it happens. Imam Mohammed, if anybody have any questions, Imam Mohammed will teach this case. That's not clear to me. He said desert and desert. Desert. You know, like you get shot for desertion. I'm not talking about strawberry shortcake, but you get shot for desertion. You deserted your post. He said you deserted your post. He said there's a correlation between desert and desert. What a desert is a place where people have abandoned their responsibility to cultivate their own environment. They've left that. They're no longer cultivating their environment. They've left that responsibility. They've deserted that responsibility. And so therefore where they live is a desert. We call it blight. It's desert by any other name. So who's the ant in this picture? The ant, well, since we started with the tail, let's start with the tail. That tail, is this what it's in? It's a tail. It's a story that ants find attractive. A teaching that ants find attractive. This ant, I'm saying this ant, are indigenous African American Muslims. Indigenous Muslim African Americans. Small in what? In time in, small in our knowledge of the religion, small in many ways. But we are appropriate bait for something else. And even when you talk about our young indigenous African American Muslims particularly, and we are young as a population. We can talk about 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. In the scheme of 1,432 years, we're young. Okay? What's the grass? The grass is that tail, it's that deceit. It's that promise of the nourishing life of Islam. You remember in the Genesis it talks about serpent in the garden, right?